So how do we improve diversity and inclusion at work? Well, I suppose it begins with accepting that we do have a problem with lack of diversity, especially in managerial roles, and that not everybody has the same opportunities as everybody else. That fact has already been recognised by the business. Openreach recently found out that they were able to increase the number of women wanting to take engineering roles in the business simply by changing the wording of the job adverts. Well, it's going to take new, innovative thinking like that if we're going to start to tackle the diversity issue. It's also going to take a bit of a change in attitude from the rest of us. We're going to have to learn to accept people for who they are and not where they came from or what their beliefs are. We have to learn to accept people's differences and incorporate them into the business. And we shouldn't be afraid to call things out when we see they're wrong, even if it doesn't personally affect you. And if you see somebody struggling, then we should see it as our duty to help that person, whoever they are. For me at least, it makes coming to work more enjoyable, and ultimately that helps the business. Oh, and I've got a particular theory. Don't laugh. Here it is. I've started calling it my pathway theory. First, we need someone to create that pathway, new networks, new ways of getting to the job that we've always been looking at. Then we need friends, allies and role models. All right, Caesar, sit down. Well, we need friends and colleagues, the guys who'll encourage us that we're good enough to take the journey in the first place. And then we need allies to shine a light on the pathways and guide us along it. And then we need the role models, the ones who've already made it to the end of the path. They have to become the light in the distance that the rest of us are striving to get to. And the thing is, you can be any of these, a friend or an ally or a role model, or all of them. Just depends on your role or your position in the business. So, come on, should we do it? Yeah, why not? I'm doing my bit by showing you that historically we have more in common than we realise. And you can use the networks like this to share your stories and your experiences so other people can understand you better, what your likes and your dislikes are and what your hopes and dreams are. Ultimately, why we're not so different after all. So there you are, that's my beginner's guide to diversity, and I should say inclusion because they do go hand in hand, or at least they should. I hope that you found it interesting and informative, and I hope that you've learned something that you didn't know before. And most importantly, I hope that I've helped you think about the benefits of what working in a more diverse workforce can bring. And now it's just up to you and me to make that happen.